Gather, veterans. It's time to join the fight. The long war begins.
I am the hammer. I am the sword in his hand. I am the gauntlet about his fist. I am the bane of his foes and the woes of the treacherous. I am the end.
This is The Long War. I'm Robbie B, and joining me once again are my partners in crime, Kenny Boucher and Stephen Fore. What's up, guys?
Yo, dog, great to be here.
Yo, what's happening, everybody?
It is another night. The orcs are kind of coming.
Orktober?
Mostly almost here. Orktober. Going into Norkvember, I guess.
I feel like they're on the blood moon horizon.
There is definitely a bad moon rising. If those
that's a lot of mixed metaphors up in that one.
I was channeling Legolas from Twin Towers. There's a blood moon that rises.
A blood moon rises. Someone was slain on this day, or blood was shed on this day.
Blood was shed.
Star Wars Episode 2, right?
Yes.
The new Jedi.
Also, I want to let everyone rest assured we did our obligatory Ricky Bobby quote. We did that in the webcast within 6 minutes. We also made fun of Lord of the Rings already. We're good.
We didn't make fun of JJ.
We still potentially have shooting ourselves stories. So
you talked about shooting yourself in the webcast. You brought it up. You were like 30% chance I'm gonna shit myself no matter what I eat. You said that.
That's a good point. I was going to actually say, David, tune in because there's a chance that we talk about it more. Chance is less now. You can hit the highlights later.
Well, you were getting mad at me because I didn't join the chat earlier when we were starting up. I was like, I'm still on the toilet. This is I got a rascal here. We got a rascal. It's gonna be a minute.
Yeah. Hey, sometimes life gives you lemons.
Blood for the blood god.
Did you see that epic Charlie Sheen meme about life gives you lemons?
No.
I think you can conclude the rest of it.
No, probably has something to do with
die from AIDS or something.
Blow and
gives you lemonades.
Oh wow!
I saw that shit today.
Too soon.
I was like, oh my God. I'm a terrible person for laughing at this.
It's like one of those train wrecks. You just like kind of just can't. You don't want to. You can't turn away. You just something about it. You just want to keep watching.
I feel like AIDS, a terrible person when I laughed out loud.
Speaking of AIDS, I just played a game of Kill Team, and man, I love game AIDS.
Do you remember that one time we spelled AIDS the wrong way for like a year and a half? Whenever we
did.
We really did.
We actually wondered why our ratings were so high on those shows. Like, man, like everybody loves game AIDS. And like, oh, we're actually spelling it wrong.
Yeah.
Well,
they're actually trying to listen to the show to figure out how to.
There's something about that. Remember Gale Force 9? Gale Force 9 game AIDS?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I remember that. It's spelled AIDS. And I was like, I don't feel that bad anymore. Because I was like, if they spell it that way, I guess we can't really be mad at ourselves. They're like a big company and stuff.
I want you to know I'm a grown man and I've shit myself before. I'm not mad at anything I say. Like I've the scale of 1 to 10 of what I'm prepared to be mad at myself of speaking is far and beyond trumped by me shitting myself.
Not only has he shit himself in his own home within visual sight of a bathroom.
And just felt so defeated that I didn't even care.
Yeah, This is my life now.
Is it?
Okay, you got your.
Tell me how I can be salty about game AIDS.
David, you got shit. You got AIDS.
That's it. That was the best. That was the best 3.5 minutes we can give you, David.
Yeah,
right,
seriously.
Rob, give us some news.
Please, 5-star this podcast. I swear to God.
Classy as all podcasts.
Yes. So coming out next week on the GW front of things, we have Speed Freaks box, $150. A little bit of mixed bag on the value. According to Games Workshop, they use the word Kraken value. I don't know what that means. I know that it is $150 and comparing it to Tooth and Claw, which is an approximate value of 300 MSRP, I believe it is. That this box is very puzzling in the fact that the two Ork war bikers are $41.25.
They said it's valued at 300. What is it? What'd you say?
No, they didn't say it was valued at 300. Well, okay, so for 150 to tooth and claw boxes,
Traditionally, these things have been above 300 in value.
right?
Yeah.
GW used the words or the term Kraken value, so you can start your own speed wog by buying this box. So I don't know what that means because I don't know what Kraken means, but the
Kraken
remaining
is the same aspect of mustering.
No,
Oh.
Kraken is actually a titan in Greek mythology that rises from the
okay,
ocean.
so it's a big mustard.
It's also something that Tyrone Biggums had a huge addiction to. Crack.
Could smoke
Skin.
this box for hours.
I wanted to give you that one, Juice. And I
Tyrita?
was about to not give it to you until Rob came back in and was like, I can smoke this box for hours.
There it is.
And I was like, okay, good save. Solid.
Got it. So regardless, if you do the maths, there's only $70 left over until you even equal the box set. So I don't know whether that's going to be those new terrain sprues that I don't think have been revealed. I think I have a picture of them somewhere. Or I don't know. I don't know what else is in there. Are these buggies going to be like
So the buggies can easily, so a rhino's like $35, right?
a truck is $37.25, a battle wagon is $66.
I fully am okay with these buggies being more points than a fucking truck because they are.
What about more money?
That's what I'm saying. More money. That's what I mean.
Oh,
More
okay.
money. I am fully down with that. They're on Night Titan size bases. They're the sickest,
Right.
most detailed things I've ever seen. I can only imagine the layers of plastic glued on top of each other and how much is going to go into these.
Mhm.
They have two dudes, the brand new sculpts, and anytime something's brand new, there's still bills to pay, So like, I am absolutely fine with these new buggies being more points than the current truck. 100% fine with that. What I'm not okay with is if the value is shifted to this terrain, which I'm certain is not going to be a big deal, right?
It just looks like it's a sprue of like rubble terrain.
Exactly.
And I'm like,
if they put a value on that over $9.99, I'll be like, really?
Well, remember that same sort of similar thing goes for, I believe, $29.99 currently for one of the new Adeptus Titan or one of the new Sector Imperialis terrain sets. So
The only thing that I'll chime in with, Rob, on all your metrics for what the dollar value difference between what it costs the consumer and what they can buy it for or sell it for retail value, is that pre-Forge World price hike?
now we're comparing apples to oranges, sir. I cannot comment on that.
No, but what I'm saying is GW pricing their margins different now? Are they valuing their product different now that after Forge World has went up on their dollar value?
Well,
Have
okay,
you
so
seen
Absolutely.
in your numbers.
So I'll let you guys in on a little secret. GW plastics were always secretly price hiked. They just didn't tell us because look at it this way. This same $150 retail box is priced on their UK site at £90. And 90 pounds, let me just do some quick maths here, times 1.3 is $117. So why is that? Why is the difference so big right there? You're talking an extra $30 in there. That's called arbitrage. Look it up. You'll get a really interesting definition about how that works.
Where'd you learn that word from?
I had heard that word before our conversation, Kenny.
I didn't tell him that word. I'm just saying my financial CPA might know a thing or two.
There's actually in the ad world, there's a very similar thing, and it's also called arbitrage. Anyways, so truth be told, they've been doing it to us for a while, but we just didn't know. They just didn't do it right in our face like they did with the Forge World, and that's why it's so glaringly obvious. But
Rob, do you remember when I was a commission painter and I would look at GMM's price guide and he would call me every time he was going to raise his prices. Therefore, I could raise my prices by 20%.
That's not the same thing.
Well, if you have two things that seem to be of a similar nature and are both options in the same market, every time one of them goes up in price, that's perceivably the premium version of it. The other one is now authorized to raise up as long as they maintain the same distance between the two. I mean, I did that for like 6 years as a professional painter, literally with GMM Studios. Like every time he raised his price, I raised mine too.
technically that's.
But we were the same. We were the same guy, the same gap, the whole time we rose our prices.
It's the same. To translate that into layman's terms for smaller companies, my food truck, when I show up to certain events, I ask everyone else, how much are you going to sell your canned soda for? $2? Sounds good. That's what I'm doing.
Yes.
$1? All right, cool.
I feel like we're getting a little. I agree with everything you guys just said, totally. But that's kind of a little.
No,
bit
just
different.
to answer the point that Juice asked, the question he asked was just like, do you think that now that the premium exclusive resin has gone up 20%, does that authorize this? Do you think that some of that factors in the GW now sneaking in a couple of new prices on us, as long as it's still 20%, that same distance cheaper as it used to be? Do you think you're going to see that specifically related to that?
Kind of in some ways, but not specifically related to that, I don't think. I think they're going to value their kits. They're always kind of probing and prodding to try to figure out what will actually pay. And I think that's one of the reasons they put the Night Preceptor out a little bit later in the year, because they kind of wanted to see how the Castellan sales and the Valiant sales were, and to kind of see what they could kind of get away with, because they were very fast to defend the value. Hey, you get all these kits in here on the Preceptor and things. I know there's some stuff I know that I don't want to publicly say about certain kits and certain things that the higher ups at GW have said, and throughout the years that have gotten them in trouble, and some of them aren't there anymore. And let's just say that this may or may not be a priority to them. That's the rumor, at least. So trying to put a price tag. I just want to make sure we try to compare this correctly, because I've been searching for all these things. My predictions were way off about how much this box would be. At first, I thought it was going to be an $85 box, because the way GW was talking was that it was going to be, this is a great way to start collecting your force, and then looking at the layout and looking at the format for it. I'm like, oh, okay, I see what they're going to do here. They want people to buy multiples. They'll probably make squads of 3. There'll be a reason there's only 2 in here. And it was all starting to make sense to me. But then once we got the confirmed pricing on it, I'm like, so how much are they actually going to try to sell these buggies for separately? And here's I can't tell you definitively. I do know that the War Buggy on the US store, the old Buster one from from Gorka Morka, is $60. That old, very small one, very small, like with the little fenders.
That is $60.
Get out of here. That's not a real number.
Oh yeah. But here's the thing. Everything that comes on a night base, wow, is like over $100. Just about every example I can think of. The Black Coach, Storm Surge, of course, all the Knights. Like, there are a lot of models that come on night bases, and none of them are $60 that I can remember. Now, maybe we could crowdsource some people in chat here in 15 seconds or so after the delay. We'll be like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And we'll be like, oh, okay, that adds more fuel to the fire. But either way, what this box set is going to be actually valued at, it's really hard. It's kind of a moving target still at this point. So I don't really say, but they promised us a crack in value after we muster our arms.
Hey, but Rob, doesn't it come with a cool set of rules to play this new Speed Freak game?
Juice, what do you think people are going to do with those rules?
What time of year is it? Winter?
It's getting cold. Winter's coming.
Winter's coming. Kindling, fire starter.
Rob, how many Prospero box grids and collectible cards and D12s have gone to dumpsters in your local area?
I would say a few. I mean, I bought a couple boxes, I'm sure.
Hurricane Matthews just came through, so everybody's using those as candles, and D10s can melt down perfectly into candles. I'm just kidding. Y'all don't
do that.
No, yeah, it was rough. There was a couple days.
So
a couple rough days there.
So Speed Freak box coming out, not as good a deal as some of these other boxes that have come out.
Not sure yet. Not sure.
Potentially. No, hey,
they're $100 kits. Yeah.
I absolutely love a little not knowing, the unknown, butt pucker kind of effect. Like I want to know when it comes out. So I'm with it. GW, keep the suspense building.
Well,
Give us Ork December.
I have a very selfish reason for hoping they're $100 kits, but damn, dog.
It's kind of rough. Like it's really hard to say. But this is an interesting precedent that they've now duplicated twice. They put the Space Wolf book out, but they also came out with a box set. This is the first time they've come out with a faction specific large box before a codex dump, before an actual codex release. So they kind of maybe did the pilot, so to speak, with Stormclaw, or not Stormclaw. That was the old one. With Tooth and Claw before Space Wolves, and now they're doing Speed Freaks for Orks. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what future releases bring and what they think that they can sell prior to a main release and then during the waves of a main release. That's kind of my point I'm trying to make right there. So also coming out, or is already out this week, is going to be the new Nightvault expansions for crime solving your vault. There's 2. They're actually out this week. There's a couple packs of cards that have also come out. There's one called Echoes of Glory, which updates the Steel Hearts and the Garrix Reavers warband from Shadespire. Actually, you get new cards in their re-release over to Nightvault. So if you're not going to rebuy that stuff because you already got it in Shadespire, they put out a pack of cards you can buy to get all the extra cards that are coming in there. And that's actually should be on store shelves right now. So if you're looking at getting into Nightvault, now might be a great time because you're getting on the ground floor and it's pretty balanced and a lot of fun. Kill Team Commanders.
Let me jump in real quick. In reference to the Speed Freak box, I saw chat blowing up and they were like asking about the other boxes and what their values were. All the way back, like Death Mask, Overkill, Crossbarrel, Betrayal of Calth, Tooth and Claw, the recent, the Forge Bane. All these boxes have been over $300 value.
Yeah, give
Every
or take.
single one of them. Some of them were like edging on 4, like Overkill and shit like that. Death Mask was like really good value. In the Dark Imperium set, like these have all been over 3, some close edging to 4. So yes, historically, this $150 box has been a really good deal. So if the trend continues, then I believe 100%. Just to talk into the chat, what Rob said. What if these buggies are $100? Then here we go. The value's there. Just to conclude that, I'm sorry for cutting you off.
No, I completely understand. Also this week is the new Kill Team Commanders box, which, I think a lot of folks, including myself, were worried about it being maybe overpowered a bit because you're going to introduce all these badass characters into the game, and there's no way that your teams can kind of keep up with it. And overall, from what I've seen, it looks like good value. It looks like it's well balanced. Each of the individual starters that go for $35 have enough content in there that you can get the stuff you need for multiple types of commanders that come in the book. So I'm pretty stoked. I don't even play Kill Team Commander. And I was already like, wait, you get all these cards? You get all the cards you need and you can just have them right in front of you and you don't have to like look things up and they're just on the table and you get all these things. I was like, see, now I can get into this game because you get all the things and you just have them right there and you don't have to go flipping through and all these things. So I kind of accidentally sold myself on it. So hopefully that makes a big splash this weekend. I'm kind of stoked for it myself personally.
You're not stoked.
Yeah, I am. You don't know that.
I just said that so there wouldn't be dead air because no one talked.
Did we lose juice?
I don't know if you're stoked.
Still here.
I don't know if you're really stoked or not.
I am.
But we did. That's an interesting topic we discussed in the webcast. Was these new clan packs? We went back and forth on them. We're like $30, $35. This is garbage. That's me imitating us being whiny. And then we thought about it for 5 minutes, and we were like, well, the street value was like $20, $25 for most of these clan packs. and you're getting some tokens and some cards. Most people, at least half the people, are collectors, and they want to collect this shit. They want to collect these physical things. So, at the end of the day, if you're telling me it's a street value $25 plus you threw in $10 worth of fucking game add-ons, at the end of the day, that's GW free.
Yeah. Dude, $35 for a Kill Team box that gives you rules, cards, and a model, no matter if it's old or new. Like, I can get behind that. Like, GW charges us $19.99 for fucking primer. Like, get out of here. That's a great deal.
No, I would never spend that much for primer ever. But
there's a lot of customers to a lot of friendly local game stores who do. Thank you. To all you people, please do not stop buying our primer.
No.
What kind of primer are we talking?
Chaos Black.
Oh, GW primer.
Yep.
I would suggest to anybody who stocks that at the store to, as soon as you sell it, never reorder it.
Never rebuy it to their GW minimum.
Literally just go to Home Depot and buy basic black primer and just resell that for a small markup, and you will make more money over the course of a year than you will selling the GW one.
Love it.
But yeah.
All right.
I don't know. We could talk forever about retail. So we put out an article earlier today being Wednesday, the day we record the podcast and the webcast, talking about mostly my spitball ideas to make 40K great again. And I know a lot of people had a lot of opinions on it just here on the pregame. But long story short, my biggest suggestion, I think, was a ban list, was the fact that I think that there is a casual base, so to speak, of players that are just not showing up to events, major events, or even like organized play events at stores. And instead, they might still be showing up, and they might just be playing things like Nightvault or Kill Team now, because it's really easy to pick up and it's fun and it's engrossing and it's got a really cool narrative. But on the 40K side of things, I just feel that there's a lot of burnout over the past years, 1 year worth of changes where we've seen 3 major updates, 3 major FAQs, FAQ 1, 2, and now we're about to see chapter approved here in December. And it just recently dawned on me. I was like, man, the FAQ just came out and we're already like talking about what's going to happen in chapter approved. And I'm like, I don't even know. I mean, I'm going to keep hobbying on what I'm hobbying on. It's not going to affect me none, but I'm the stuff I'm hobbying on was like from summer, and I feel like there's a lot of folks out there, a lot of professional folks working 40, 50 hours a week, maybe military folks with family, just insert whatever here as far as hardworking individuals out there, maybe, working 2 jobs, going to school part-time, whatever. There seems to be a little bit of a disconnect in the ability of people to keep up with every little change in the meta. And we've even seen it at the top tables, like Juice reminded us that Alex Fennel, it happened to him at Nova last year, Battle for Salvation last year, where he showed up and he had his stuff pointed wrong and automatically disqualified himself. And I think he helped with the judging and stuff for the rest of the event, and he's a solid individual, and obviously some stuff has happened since then. And he's just cemented his position as a solid, trustworthy individual in this community. But, going forward, I just feel like while we are seeing growth, could we be seeing more growth if we had different types of format for 40K?
No, I think multiple formats is exactly where 40K needs to be. I actually love the fact that we go to Adepticon and it has a specific set of rules that we play by, and then we go to Nova or LVO, and again we're at a different set in itself. So no, I am absolutely in agreement with that. The Long War doubles, for anybody who hasn't had a chance to get involved with that, is unbelievable and amazing. And it plays by its own certain set of rules, and what is the best overall and what is greater than the next person. So no, I absolutely think that having a diverse game system is where we want to be. If we want to get stagnant and stale, we'll play chess. It's actually balanced. They already have chess clocks figured out. Like if we want an amazing, diverse, beautiful game, we're going to play Warhammer 40K.
Yeah, and to Rob's point, like the frustrating cycle that you're talking about, because you were here almost this time last year, right before Chapter Approve again.
I never really left, to be honest.
Well, you were like working on your sick ass guard list. Then a bunch of things changed because guard were getting attacked by a lot of FAQs at the time. They were getting addressed. So yeah, I mean, I understand the frustration. I think when we briefly talked about it, earlier in the after hours, that's the premium content. We go into what we're talking about right now is a brief summary of a almost 30-minute discussion we just had behind our paywall, thelongword.net. But as opinions go, I have a definitely different opinion than both these gentlemen here do, where Rob used a great analogy about like a hobby pyramid, and question you should ask yourself, and maybe you'll figure out where you stand on that pyramid, is when you go to your game store week after week after week, do people revel at the opportunity to play you, not because like maybe you're a bad person or anything, but because of the choices, the units, the style of game you like to play and how you like to win, might show you where you fit in that pyramid. Now, that doesn't mean anyone's responsible for any of these things negatively. Ultimately, we have a game company pretending to be a model company and saying things for years like they don't write rules. They don't sell rules to sell models, even though they clearly do. So obviously any of the fault lays with them. But I do believe in a system where you're trying to create the best version of the game, this has to exist for at least some period of time. And I know I said that a year ago, that don't worry, Rob, in a year it'll all work itself out. Mm-hmm. And it hasn't. So, but to me, this doesn't affect me. I'm absolutely fine with it. I'm not a collector. I have literally no emotional attachment to the models I build and collect. I'm fully down to figure out what about my army doesn't work anymore. And I get really excited to now have a new opportunity to go back into my list builder and figure out a new sick combo. And I'm very willing to commission somebody to paint those 16 new models I need to make my shit work. I'm very into that because I'm not a collector. I am an educator and a tutorial creator and a content creator. But as far as a hobbyist goes, like as far as my personal investment into going to the game, I get my personal enjoyment out of playing the game and winning at the game. And my other side of it is showing people how to paint their models better. So for me, I don't give a fuck. I actually like it.
Yeah, you want to know what? And that's exactly why this game is so amazing, because there's just as many because I agree 100% with that sentiment that you're saying there, Kenny. Like, I want you to understand, like, I feel the same way and simultaneously know that there is other people that agree with us. And there are other people that say, I don't care about playing. All I care about is modeling my army and making them look cool. And those are those people will kind of be some of the vocal minority sometimes to say, oh, you guys are the ones that are what's wrong with this game, just trying to break it all the time. And it's like, no, there's just GW has made such a dynamic game that it attracts so many different players and fans and followers and anything else, subtitles that you want to give people, that the concept of only doing this product one way is lost, right? Like there's so many other different ways. I absolutely love FAQs. I absolutely love the game changing. I love that aspect, but I can respect simultaneously that there is multiple ways to interact with these models, multiple ways to have fun and enjoyment with this game. And I'm down to, get whatever said models, as Kenny, as you said, as needed to make those happen. Whether that's in a 4 to 8 man team, as in AKA kill team, or 250 models on the 40K tip.
Let me jump in here real quick because this is actually a great comment. We normally don't interact with the comment, but G Finnegan is an old schooler. I've seen this man on every platform. My man coming in from Twitch, he says, so you've thrown away your bringing hobby back model and just care about metagaming. For my personal interest in this game, I've never brought hobby back. My personal investment is winning. I'm a very competitive individual. And you tell me the format, I try to win at that format. If that format includes a hobby score, suddenly I bring a different force. And so I spent years trying to convince the world that there needed to be hobby scores in 40K, and hobby scores is bringing hobby back. The world didn't listen. So what we did was we created our own. The Long War Doubles is played at Adepticon, LVO, and now Bay Area Open. 3 major events with multiple instances of hundreds of people a year. We do that for free. We don't charge anybody. We show up. They might provide a hotel room for us, but we don't get paid. And we have over 200 people signed up at LVO. We had almost 200 people signed up at Adepticon. So for the greater vision of bringing hobby back, we're doing what we can to help as many people as possible. That doesn't change my personal way of playing, which is I want to win. Tell me how to win and I'll win. Some people, they want to win and they want hobby scores 100% of the time. And we've actually created a system now as of 2019 where I would estimate 600 people a year are going to be able to enjoy bringing hobby back with hobby scores. So like there is definitely a division between like what I do on the table and what I'm trying to do, because the number one directive in hobby in all of this is we need to bring people in or we don't have something to play. And so hobby scores bring people in the game, give people a reason to keep playing. Some people are like, damn it, if it wasn't for those hobby scores, I would have quit this game a long time ago. I was like, yeah, I know. I was there too in my journey about 7 years ago. And now I'm here.
But I definitely think the majority of folks are probably looking for this sort of thing. And the fact that it's in Best Coast, maybe because of some of our events, is a good precedent, and that we can keep moving it forward. And even if it isn't a separate format, even if there isn't like the ban list, like the old 7th edition ITC or whatever, like I was kind of suggesting in the article, I think that just more events that put a greater emphasis on hobby score would be perhaps enough to entice people to come out. But again, I'm not a TO. I'm not an event organizer. I don't have a dog in this fight. I just want to see as many people come into this hobby and stay as possible. And I think we're kind of at a point where there needs to be a change and not 3 big major changes to 40K every year.
And we're not gonna spoil this, but Rob, Juice, and myself have recently begun discussing something really exciting. I will give you literally no fucking information about it outside of because it is potentially huge. And we've recently begun discussing something because Rob delivered a 2 a.m. his time monologue.
It was midnight.
Yeah, that's accurate. A midnight, which is pretty late for my man. A very passionate monologue about how he feels about this. And so like he eventually turned that into an editorial on Spiky Bits, but it got us thinking. And so I promise you in 2019, you will begin seeing an interesting solution to this crazy meta, crazy insane amount of fucking literature you need to stockpile, units being so obviously wrong that it's just one word would fix them. You're going to see something from us, but I'm not going to give you literally any information beyond that.
Well, I'm gonna also follow that up with another teaser that is potentially gonna happen, and 100% information behind it is on November 2nd and 3rd. There's going to be a lot of chatter between the social media platforms and things like that. Sean Naden is flying down to the Southern Pines, North Carolina Beats Lab, and we are going to be doing some amazing content and exclusive, amazing knowledge dropping bombs left and right, with the potential of some teasers that are yet to come for 2019 as well. We always are changing here at the Long War. We're always coming out with new things, innovating, and Sean coming down in 3 weeks, I believe it is, in 14 days, something like that, is absolutely another way that we're going to be holding true through 2019 with that as well. So look to your news feeds and everything else. Look for the live feeds coming up 2018, November 2nd and 3rd. There's going to be a lot of movement going on.
Oh, yeah. Basically, straight up guerrilla tactics. The Long War has always been a nexus of learning how to paint, learning how to hobby, learning what's going on in the universe of miniatures, and learning how to play. That has always been the vision, and that is about to level up real soon this year. Guerrilla Tactics, digestible, short form formats where people are going to be able to understand complex ideas in a very short amount of time. From a legend, Sean Naden just won Bay Area Open. Battle for Salvation. And he also is the captain of the Team America. They just brought home the gold this year. And of course, you've got Juice, who is no slouch himself, who is consistently placing at the top at every major event. And they're going to come together under this amazing Long War umbrella and create the sickest. I've already seen where they're going. I've already talked about these guys, and I am learning just from like editing. So it's going to be amazing. With that, let's take a commercial break. Come back in. Maybe talk about the super OP, overpowered gangster Ork Buggies.
Game changing.
Meta changing.
It will never be the same again after these Ork Buggies.
Finally, the Long War swag is here. LongWarSwag.com, the official home of Long War merchandise. We've got a range of merchandise exclusive to the Long War brand, next level painting and spiky bits. Definitely log in today while supplies lasts. Veterans, I've got news for you. Get your best deals online at dicehead.com. Long War Vets, call or email for your best vet deals. That's dicehead.com.
Dear veterans, quickly, make your way to thelongwar.net and find out how to reap your hard-earned spoils of this long war. For our allies at secretweaponsminiatures.com have rewarded us all with an extra 10% discount on all Secret Weapon Miniatures merchandise. So stock up, dear veterans, and enjoy.
ElrixHobbies.com is your exclusive portal to upgrading your hobby. When you sign up at thelongwar.net, you gain an instant promotional discount good for 10% off at Elrix Hobbies. ElrixHobbies.com. And we're back, Rob. Change our lives.
Is it time to muster the Ork Buggy?
Yes, sir.
Oh, absolutely. Give me all the condiments right on top of my Ork Buggies. No hobby bringing back selves we are. Let's give us the knowledge bombs on these OP buggies.
So basic stat lines: 12-inch movement, weapon skill 4, ballistic skill 5, strength 5, toughness 6, 8 wounds, 4 attacks, 6 leadership with a 4-up save. And of course, there's going to be a whole bunch of different configurations. The first one, the Boom Blaster. That's the one with looks like a big AT4 mounted on the top, I suppose. It's kind of interesting. This is the one it can do 4 D3 flamer attacks that automatically hit. It does have the mob rule, Irigo, Daka, and speed mob, so you can make them squads of 3. You get extra hits on a 6, but that's not going to matter for the flamers. They do have the rivet cannon, which is an assault 6, strength 7, -2, 2 damage weapon at 36-inch range, but unfortunately they're hitting on 5s. So I guess 6s get you extra shots, but
not Tesla. It gives you extra ability, extra attacks.
Right.
Yeah. So you still have to roll that dumbass 5.
Yeah, the extra chance to roll a dice to get another chance. So my comment that I want to say about this, and now it feels like we've been talking about this now for 2.5 hours because we've done couple different shows and things. But I will say, out of all of them, I believe bold statement number 1 for this show will be that this will be the most highest point costed buggy that GW will put out. And I don't know if it's going to be anywhere near the best, but for some reason, GW overvalues flamers. They believe that a heavy flamer on any platform, no matter what it is 17 points. That is redonkulous. Like a Chimera that has to pay, 5 points or 7 points for a heavy bolter, but 17 for a heavy flamer isn't even in the same category. So I can only imagine that this that has an automatic hit function weapon will be exponentially greater than points wise than the others. So with that being said, this thing is trash.
They do have the clan rule, so there are some rumored clan rules out there, and we haven't seen all of these stratagems. We've seen a couple. There's a couple more out there rumored right now, but as of right now, it's very basic. It's very, very vanilla. Very vanilla. Next up is the Shock Jump Dragster. This thing is kind of interesting. It can teleport on a 4-up. After you make an advance roll, it teleports and can be placed 9 inches away from any of your models. But on another D6 roll of a 4-up, it takes a wound, a mortal wound, that is. It does have a interesting gun, the custom shock rifle. It's like almost like a shock attack gun. It's assault 2, strength 8, neg 3 AP, D6 damage. It will hit on +2 because that grot apparently aims this thing. Then it also can take a mortal wound if you roll an unmodified roll of 1. And each time you make
range
24. This one's 14-inch movement, by the way, for the vehicle. Each time you make a wound roll of a 6-up for this weapon, target suffers 1 mortal wound in addition to any other damage. So it's got some weird wound mechanics.
Oh, say that again. A 6-up to wound is a mortal wound in addition to the normal damage.
Yeah.
Oh, I love those mechanics. That is actually very powerful. I love stuff that does extra damage on 6s things. I actually
is this the strength 8?
Yeah, this is the quality one, right?
That hits on a 3.
It's on 3. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is, in my opinion, one of the better, if not probably the second best one that there is. And the reason why is because this weapon platform gives the orc something they don't have access to, something that hits on a 3-up that is high strength, low AP, solid damage output. So
I don't care about it unless they get clan rules. If the clan rules,
it does have clan rules.
If the rumored clan rules, everything has clan rules.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But if the rumored clan rules are Space Marine-esque, where it doesn't affect anything but infantry and fucking bikes and dreadnoughts, then I'm a little bit less interested in this. But if the clan rules are like Eldar style, where everything, biatch.
Yeah.
If this thing can be Bad Moon and it's got 2 of these quality shots, reroll 1s to hit, that could be a problem.
I would also like to put a caveat to this is that in my mind, I've already come up with a fake point cost in my brain that I'm willing to deal with. I've already decided that the first one, the flame template autocannon one, that is pretty shitty. I believe that GW is going to overpoint that, and it's going to be more than a Wyvern. And I believe it's going to be 104, 107 points, right? I hope, because of, as Kenny outlined, some of the artillery pieces and other units within the army that do comparable things, that they're under 50 points. I hope with this one, that it's under 64, 65, something like that. I can get behind it because of the maneuverability and speed that it does. And as something Rob will talk about a lot, the base size. That is huge for me. I want a surfboard flying around the board, or not because they don't have fly, moving very swiftly across
drifting
the board.
In an expedient manner.
Yes, right? Like Ricky Bobbying across the board, shake and bake. See what I did there?
When you compare it, specifically when you compare it to the big Met gun, the artillery piece, the one that's the same profile but D6 shots, where you have 3 in a squad and Gretchen shoot it, so it's on a 4. That's 47 points. So 47 points, hits on 4s. It probably also bad mood, reroll 1s. Hits on 4s, D6 shots, 47 points.
D6 number of shots. So 50% of the time, you are on average going to get 17% more shots out of a D6 variable number of shots than just standard 2. Right?
Precise. Right. And then it hits on one number lower and almost netting it out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying is something already exists in the index, roughly with the same power level, and we have a point assigned to it. Now, I don't know if this points went up on it in the new codex or if it's the same, but I like to look at things that already exist to figure out what I'm willing to pay for this. If this thing is clan and it rerolls ones, I'm willing to go up to, like 70 points. Hit on 3 reroll ones that fast, that surfboard, I'm sold.
Yep, 100%. So that's the confirmed ones that we've seen here, and we know that the Daka rule is you get exploding 6s, you get to roll an extra hit, but sometimes that's kind of booty if you're hitting on 5. Speed Mom's going to let you split your squads of 3 into individual units, so you can flood the board with 9 of these at the fast attack spot. Seems pretty good. And then as far as, let's see, where's the other? Some of the new stuff that came out. I know this is one you guys were hot and heavy on. So first off,
can I cut you off 1 second first? Someone in chat said something interesting. He said, we've seen a leaked profile that says 5 power level for one and 6 for the other. This is Trey from YouTube. He says, GW has said that 1 power level is roughly 20 points. Juice. What if this thing is 120 points? How do you feel about it now?
We can move on to the next point.
Continue.
It's literally 120 points is not even a real number. It's not worth money. It's not worth time, effort, or painting. I mean, an assault cannon Razorback, which is 100 times better than any of these buggies, is not worth 100.
Toughness 7, 3-up save, 11 wounds. Get the fuck out of here.
Hitting on 3s with 12 shots.
And they're always going to have some reroll next to them.
Like, nah, homie. And it has a carrying capacity. It's both. It's a weapons platform and a carrying capacity. Like, and that is not worth 120 points. Get the fuck out of here if we believe that anything close to that, and the concept of shooting more, having more DACA makes up for the fact that it hits on 5s. Like, okay, I can agree with that. Except when we're talking about, an assault cannon Razorback, like 12 shots of that quality. I mean, you better give me something that shoots 24 shots.
Existing units and rules within the games that already have a point cost. That's how GW doesn't think. You can tell GW doesn't do that. GW doesn't look at their own game and look at how they've already pointed things out that do similar things. I promise they don't do that. And we'll know for sure when the points drop on these. Rob.
So next up, the one I think y'all are high on right now or high-ish on. Oh, by the way, so there is that stratagem where if you have a speed freak unit, until the start of your next turn, they're going to get -1 to hit for 1 CP. You play at the start of the movement phase. Also, something worth talking about, I don't know how deep down the rabbit hole we're going to go, is that the Death Killer War Trike, that I guess is probably going to be an HQ choice, gets the Speed
Super War Boss bubble.
Right. Gets the Super War Boss bubble where units within 6 of this model at the start of the charge phase can charge even if they advance, which the Warbike is a very good platform in general. That's
going to be an auto include for a lot of things.
Do we have some stats on that guy?
Not yet.
We predict, I think someone said it was, or I think I saw predictions at 120 points for that guy. I'd pay 120 points for that guy because he's going to be a war boss on trike. He's not going to be targetable, and he's going to create one of the sickest bubbles in the game. I'll pay 120 for that.
Oh, I pay 120 for a lot less than that.
He's on a night base too.
So I just really, I don't know what it was, but it just popped in my mind. I would really like to see that guy's toughness 7. In the actual gameplay, GW, stop overvaluing toughness 7. It actually doesn't mean as much as you think, but like I feel that there needs to be a greater aspect if a knob is 5, and then a badass knob on a bike should be greater than just +1. It's just kind of been something that I've thought about for a while, but I really would love to see that trike guy. He's got an extra wheel. Don't tell me an extra wheel and that's made of adamantium and unobtainium is not worth +1 toughness.
So the Megatrack Scrapjet is that one from that video talking about spread your wings and fly.
It's an amazing video, amazing promotional video.
It's very good. Very well done. It's going to come with a weapon called one of its weapons.
Learn
is
to
be
love
called
again, Rob. Learn to love again.
I heard people were making side bets on like when you at the end of the stream where you're like, love you, dog. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I just like leave.
Well, I was doing a lot of physical acting during that you probably didn't witness.
Oh, probably not. People were like, I love you, Kenny. If Rob won't say it, I will.
Rob won't. He won't. But the Scrapjet, that one is cool as fuck. They did a cool promo video for it. It's a giant fuselage rocket with a track on it.
With a big intake scoop in the front.
Definitely cool shit. What is it?
So one of the weapons, 24-inch range, assault 2d3, strength 8, neg 2, 3 damage. Of course, you know.
Yep, he's never going to shoot anything. He's never going to kill anything with his gun. Got it. What else?
Nose drill, melee weapon, plus 2 strength, neg 2 AP, D3 damage.
And all these buggies are strength 6 juice, so that means he's got a power fist. He's roughly got a power fist with the -1 to hit built into it because he hits on 4s. And so this is one that if viewed a certain way, we talked about it in a webcast. This is a chariot. It's got a gun that if it does any damage whatsoever, it's a bonus because it's on 5s. It's going to be, because of this war boss we talked about and other builds, it's going to do what it wants when it wants. It's going to go where it wants when it wants. It's a chariot. It's a chariot with 4 attacks of a power fist that is huge ass base. It's got wounds to support it. It's got a 4-up save. You know, it's
got a 4. Is this the one that's automatically -1 to hit?
No,
that's the.
But any you can play a CP to make it -1 to hit. This is the one that's literally a power fist chariot.
So, the reason why I believe that this one's going to come into play a lot is because when we talk about the value scale, I believe that GW is going to value this one as not the other stuff because it doesn't have some automatic hit. It doesn't hit on 2s. It doesn't anything else. I believe this is going to come in as exactly where we want to be. Also, for anybody who's playing right now, 40 to 90 Storm Boys, this is the model that you want near you because it go in. It can do the punching that you want it to. It can zone block out units for you. If they get those cool ass rules, as Kenny was alluding to, then now you're saying that these models are faster, they're potentially stronger, you know, and they can literally zone block for you. And that's
Rob, what's the movement on this one specifically?
Oh, I don't think we know.
12 or 14.
It's at least 12 or 14.
It's 12 or 14.
I bet you it's 14 because it's literally like made from a DACA jet, right?
I mean, if the dragster's 14, why wouldn't a thing that's a jet?
This is what I'm saying, Juice. If all of the rumors are confirmed, if this thing is Speed Freak and Evil Sons, and the Speed Freak buff gives you even more movement, but it might not, it may not. So worst case scenario, let's say it's 14, aka 15. It is going to D6 advance. It rolls a 3, aka a 4, so it's 19 inches on an average day of the week.
And then charges.
But it gets +1 to its charge.
So 20 plus a 2d6.
So it's at yeah, exactly.
27.5 inches.
And it has Here We Go. They all have Here We Go, so it gets to reroll that charge.
Yeah. Powerful.
So if the confirmed rules on the Cult of Speed give you an additional +1, just add 3 inches to that total number. So like it's gonna be a very viable threat.
And another reason why I want to go in just a little bit further and harder on this unit is because one of the downfalls about the Storm Boys being one of the only competitive builds that the orcs have access to right now is because it is so in your face and is so powerful. Actually, in my local chapter class, or excuse me, tactics classes that I do, we go over certain armies, and one of the things that I tell everybody is like, have the testicular fortitude that it takes. You must muster the testicular fortitude that it takes to just suffer through the 90 bodies coming at you. Like, just understand that it looks overwhelming and it looks powerful. Just hold strong, right? The one thing that is if you can get past those 90 bodies, there's nothing left. You've completed the task and you've won the game. What I love about the potential aspect of these units being cheap, these units, GW, you heard what I said, and I outlined cheap. Don't make them expensive or I look like a dumbass. These models need to be cheap and can keep up with the Storm Boys. Orcs have plenty of things that can be trail behind the Storm Boys, but damn it, they don't have anything that they can potentially slingshot forward or slingshot up the sides to keep everybody right where they want, which is directly in front of them. Storm Boys are most effective when the stuff that they want to kill are directly in front of them instead of outflanking them, getting back to their stuff behind. So I believe that's exactly what these elements, these units can do, especially the ones that are stuck in close combat wise, because you don't have to worry about how to play them. You play them one way.
And to echo the chat, yes, there's many things in the Orc Codex, even before this, that were first turn charge ability. They have the jump, which puts them into a roll a 9 with a reroll on turn 1, psychic power. With the new rumor clan rules, pretty much any war bike unit, that's even better because that's 14. Bikes automatically go 6 when they advance. So that's 14, that's 15 with the +1, right? So you're literally 22 +1 to the charge, 23 bonus. And if you have this dude near you, you can still charge, assuming they don't get any plus bonuses for being a special cult. Like, there's going to be multiple ways to layer this pressure on somebody with these scrap jets, with these bikes, and then crash in with Storm Boys. And if you talk about the clan rules that we think we know about, there's going to be ways to even bounce out of combat, maybe get right back in.
White scars.
One thing that I want to go in, especially going into the chat a little bit, some people are losing their mind when we're talking about 65 points and stuff. Like, guys, you're using, some people are thinking to themselves, like, why does that even make sense? Like, Torox Primes are 100 and X amount of points, or Hellhounds are 110, or this and that. Like, ladies and gentlemen, Orcs have other vehicles that are larger than this, that have dedicated transports, battle wagons, trucks. These are also the next classification up that can do some of the things that we're already referring to. You're not giving me 1-for-1 combos. A truck and a Storm Raven, or excuse me, a truck and a Razorback, those are similar. A truck and a Torox Prime, those are similar, right? Like, give me another point cost for another unit that is under that. Chariots. Land speeder storms. How much is a land speeder storm? 75 points.
There's no way I would know the answer to that.
Yeah, nobody knows because they don't have them anymore.
No, but I feel like that's
but you're making a valid point. Like, these are vehicles with less than 10 wounds, where most vehicles have 11. These are vehicles with toughness 6, where most vehicles have 7. These are vehicles without a transport, where many vehicles have a transport. These are vehicles that hit on 5s with shooting, where most vehicles hit on 3s or 4s or have a built-in reroll mechanic. We know in our hearts that these are going to be cheaper than what you're used to. But God damn it, they better be spicy pointed, because I'm tired of legacy orc bullshit. I'm tired of shit sucking and being wily for the sake of fulfilling a prophecy, of orcs. We need some spicy ass points, some good ass rules.
Agreed.
And so far, we're being really positive about this scrapjet, but these buggies suck. They suddenly suck a lot less. They go up to a meh if the points are right. They go up to, oh shit, I'll take that if the points are spicy, So far, even this scrapjet, which we like, we're struggling to make it work until we know what the points are.
I could see it being spicy just because of the fact that they give you the option to take 9 of these in a normal army list or a normal detachment.
I'll play Fore all day, every day if the points are right.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get it twisted. I'll play more if I have to.
Yeah. How much are they? It's gonna be a scratchy week.
Yeah, I think they should be too. Like, for the love of God, Castellans didn't come out of the box 800 points. Let these people be good. Let anybody who plays orcs and Thraka and all these other guys, like orc players have done their time. Orc players have waited their turn and like let it happen. Hell yeah. Like I believe that the 40K universe and meta and everything else is a better situation when orcs are on top. Like for anybody who hasn't been playing the game as long as some of us have, like I remember in 3rd edition what Orc Choppas did and what Speed Freaks did to the meta. Like I think a lot of people forget, or maybe they never know because we don't talk about it and everything else. Like this game is not new to us. This game isn't something that we picked
Codex,
up in 6th edition.
Armageddon, Speed
Like,
Freaks
come on, guys. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if we talk about 3rd edition, we're talking about we've been playing this game for 15, 16, 17 years. You guys have just come into the game new, you know, and think that we're just like shooting from the hip when we talk about things. Like, in all reality, there is a lot of stuff that we're alluding to that has happened in the past. There's a lot of elements that they've done. You know, there's a reason why Robbie B knew immediately that this the war or the battle wagon, or excuse me, the trucks that you've seen today were from Gorka Morka of the end of 2nd edition.
The war tracks, yeah.
The war track, like go out there and look when the end of 2nd edition was, you know, like, come on, guys. Orcs are going to be good. I can't wait. But these war trucks so far aren't the way.
Like we're like wish listing points, right? I'm wish listing this scrapjet at 60 points. If I'm not even asking for a lot here. I'm asking for a guy with a power fist that hits on 4s, that can be targeted, that only has a 4-up save, that only has toughness 6. I'm asking for this guy with only like 8 wounds, less sub 10 wounds. I'm asking for this guy, which literally cultists can kill if they want to. I'm asking for this guy to be fucking 60 points. Is it? I'm not asking. I'm not even asking for slam captain level of efficiency here. I'm asking where a guy can't be targeted and he has a thunderhammer that hits on fucking 3s, rerolls 1s, and have D3 extra attacks, fight twice, literally kills a Night Titan. I'm not asking for that. I'm asking for 60 points for a fucking shitty power fist.
Dude, I've actually got it right here. Eric, thank you so much. And the chat is blowing up, and I'm sitting here trying to be like, guys, let's compare again, apples to apples, oranges to oranges. Don't tell me what a Chimera chassis costs. We need under that. I'm gonna describe to you a profile. Toughness or 6 wounds, toughness 6, 4 of armor save. I shoot 2 shots, hitting on 4, strength 7, -1, 2 damage. How many points am I? I also have a move before the game starts that will give me, and my movement is 8 or 9, something like that. And before the game starts, I can move 8 or 9 inches.
Sentinel?
I'm a scout sentinel. Are you shitting me? That's literally what we're describing. 2 shots hitting on 4s is the equivalent of 3.5 to 4 shots hitting on 5s. This is where we are. This is where we're living. What I'm talking about is, what does GW value for those extra 15 to 20 points that I am adding to my Sentinel?
Yes, Viking Teabagger nailed it. We were looking for this earlier in the webcast. So remember, we compared the scrapjet to a chariot. We were like, what the fuck? Can someone give us the points on some of these chariots? Like this Siege one, this Slanesh one? Slanesh one can move, advance, goes 12 inches, advance and charge. And basically has similar to Power Fist stat lines in close combat is 93 points. So, but that has an invulnerable save and probably hits on 3s.
Mm-hmm. And it has stratagems that will allow it to get +1 and other things.
So I'm asking for the same guy who needs to buy a guy to make him advance and charge. I'm asking for the same guy to buy a guy to make him do that same thing, who hits on 4s, who doesn't have an invulnerable save, to be 60 points.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that those chariots have a different mechanic as well, because it actually is a legitimate chariot. So where there's a rider aspect and different wounds, is that correct? Or is it all just been narrowed down?
I think that's been narrowed down.
I think it's all just narrowed down, yeah.
Okay. I'll retract my last statement.
I'd like to backpedal.
Yeah, I think Wolfstark's talking about Ravagers with disintegrator cannons. I've got a T6 vehicle too. He says, I got a T6 vehicle with an invulnerable save.
Let me tell you about that. Yeah, let me tell you about that. 105
damage,
points.
AP3.
I think Bernie Mac said it best. I'm not afraid of you motherfuckers.
What is that thing, like 115 points or
105.
105? So if a goddamn
three disintegrator cannons, 9 strength, 5 -2, 1 damage shots.
I like where this
threes.
chat has gone. They're seeing it now. If a goddamn Ravager, which is not that great, which is a good unit, but not an amazing unit, if that unit is 105 points,
hits on
this
threes.
fucking Scrapjack is a penny over 60.
It's an issue.
Well, unless there's rules out there we don't know yet.
Even then,
Which there could be.
every rule out there is going to cost resource at this point. We know what the rules of this model is. Every other rule out there is going to cost either more points or resources. This Ravager doesn't cost resources to do anything that he just said. It just costs 105 points.
Yeah, it for free just gets a deep strike. So it's not alpha strike turn 1. Like, do your thing, homie.
Thank you, Wolfsark, for bringing that up.
Yeah, there's a lot like
There's a couple other buggies. There's a squig launcher. There's a swag wagon. We went into so much detail. There's a truck that can throw a bunch of grenades at you that still hit on 5 instead of strength 4. There's a truck that literally throws a bunch of squigs around the table that literally have like 6 different profiles that all suck.
There's a truck that I actually like that is -1 to hit built in.
That's the swag wagon that has the can throw the Molotov. They call it the Molotov cocktails. Yeah. Strength 4 grenades that ignore cover and 9.
No, that's not the one, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's
like a gumbo.
Oh, that's what it does? Never mind. I don't like that one anymore.
I
thought that was the one that does.
You like the name and the -1 to hit. In GW's like, this one has more shots than any tank in the game. This is amazing. And I was
it ignores cover. Are you kidding me? It ignores cover. It has no AP in its strength 4. Who gives a shit?
And it hits on 5s.
And it has a 6-inch range. No one actually cares that it ignores cover.
Like, let me just slide in this 119-point slam captain and dead.
114.
Boom, Daka Snazwagon. He won Juice's personal award for best orc name ever.
That's true.
Boom, Daka Snazwagon. All day, every day. Sickest name. I'm going to get that tattooed on my stomach.
I've already started that tattoo on my chest.
Yeah. I'm going to get it right next to my clock with no hands on it for being an orc player for fucking 13 years. You know what I'm saying? Like,
drop the mic.
Fuck out
Drop
the
mic right there.
Well, I think we did it, guys.
I'm going to tattoo that bitch on with a fucking Bic pen and a fucking safety pin. Just for effect. That's where we're at with these buggies.
Side note, Kenny may have hepatitis now.
Oh, I have them all. A through Z. I live in Hollywood and I breathe the air. But just like obviously a positive negative sandwich. Like these are the sickest looking fucking vehicles ever made. Sickest fucking vehicles ever made. GW's plastic game's on point. They're ridiculous. Like
unbelievable.
If they say they're $100, I can't even get that mad at them because they're so legendary looking.
Guess what I'm gonna do? I don't play orcs. I'm still gonna fucking buy at least one of each of them. That's just what we do.
I believe I'm gonna paint some. You know what I mean? Like for real. Like they look sick. If they get the right points, they're fucking playable. If they don't get the right points, then maybe we get an FAQ that fixes that because every codex is an FAQ. If literally they're like, hey, they're all 120 points, and everyone's like, that's garbage GW, that's garbage GW. GW takes that window after a codex and they oftentimes throw a fucking FAQ out. So, I mean, fuck, the Space Wolves came out with the wrong fucking warlord traits.
Literally the whole book. Let me tell you how many fucking codexes I have sitting on my shelf over there right now, the Space Wolves, that I have to send an IOU out to like, sorry, homie.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't write this book or fucking print it, it's fucked up.
You're selling them to people and they're wrong, right? And
still $40.
GW came in front some stickers to throw over a fucking data slate. You know what I'm saying? Like, so at the end of the day, these can be these trucks, like Rob said, this is a little mini game that came out before the codex. So they could have a case of the struggling to make them work in a pinch, or GW might not understand their own game, or the points are right. I'm hoping that the points are right. I'm hoping GW is going to do the right thing and bring us some spicy rules. Everything is leaning toward the Orc Codex is going to be righteous. Now, we're putting a lot of hopes and dreams on these buggies when we don't know anything else. So I don't want to be like, these buggies ruin the Orc Codex when maybe the whole Codex comes out and like these buggies don't even matter. because these stratagems, we get some new points, other new units in the codex. Maybe none of this fucking matters. Or boys are going to 32 millimeter bases, Juice.
Simultaneously good and bad.
Yeah, like there's advantages and there's disadvantages. I've been doing cultists on 25s very happily, so who fucking knows what's going to happen? But
and I just want to tactically talk about why I don't really care that they're going to 32 mil bases for the concept of board control, because orcs do that regardless. You can do board control with 22 millimeter base Gretchen with these new war truck chariots that they're coming out on surfboard bases. Like orcs has always,
Juice,
they've always had.
Since you're the number one math guy,
board control.
Do math for me real quick. 25 millimeter base is roughly an inch. I have 35 of those. How many inches is that? Or 30 of them. 25 millimeters, 30 inches. Now, if you take 30 bases and spread them out through 2-inch coherency, right? Remember, there's going to be 2 that are unaccountable there because you frame it out in a Congo line. So we already established it's 30 inches if they're touching. What is it if they're 2 inches apart?
They can cover the entire 6-foot board.
That's on a 25 millimeter base, not a 32 millimeter base? Huh.
That's 90 total inches.
You can literally cover the entire length of the board already with a 30-man Gretchen mob.
Shout out to whatever legend you are who played Kroot back in 2006 at a finals. You're a legend because I can't remember your name or the tournament you were at, but someone who played a guard flyer army reserved his entire army against you to put his shit out on turn 1, and he took a single 30-man Kroot screen, infiltrated them, covered his entire long board edge, and tabled him before the game started. Actual facts. That's an actual occurrence. If you are that guy, matter of fact, shout out to, I'm sure someone must know somebody who knows somebody's. If you were either that guy who pulled that legendary trick or that legendary move, or potentially the guy who had that happen to, please contact one of the 3 of us. We would like to have you on the show. Happened 2006. You could reserve your entire army and bring shit on turn 1.
Turns out 30 guys on 25 minute bases.
Yeah, it was a White Scars game. There's a meme, or there's definitely a picture of it.
So they were able to cover an entire 6-foot long board edge with 30
72 inches is less than the roughly 90 inches we just discussed, huh?
It is.
Huh. And so I feel like corner to corner, even long ways. Someone do geometry in here, but like it's a 6x4 corner to corner. What is it, like 97 inches or some shit off the top of my head? And just using instinct.
It's about 8 feet.
I'm using instinct math.
It's 8 feet.
So this is 7 feet. This can cover 7 feet. So it leaves 6 inches of room diagonally. Like you don't need 32 millimeter bases if you can get 30-man squads.
Yeah, and then you have enough. It's not like you're talking, I've got 2 Baneblades and 30 dudes. No, like you're talking an orc army whose own dude. I actually played Nid's army and I practiced against orcs in every ATC for the last 3 years, and every one of those hobos has 90 storm boys, or 60 storm boys and 120 boys. They've got Snickrot and all these commandos coming out of every corner. Like they cover the entire board. I don't care if they're on. The only thing the 32 mil bases do is negate how many attacks you get in close combat. Like that's just, I'm just being real. Like I think it's cool. I don't hate on it, but I'm not jumping up for joy that they're
get used to getting less guys in range to swing.
That's all it does. So like for anybody who's basic and thinks, oh my God, it's so much better because I'm on a bigger base. Like it's really not. And I just want to dive in. I know we're over again on the webcast and on this. Our realness that we bring to the table by saying we're excited or not excited about something should not be a reason not to play something or we're hating on the game. Just a fact. We're just stating facts. Like, we're
allowed to have an opinion just like everybody else.
You asked me a question, are we excited about 32 mil bases? Like, no, I'm not. And this is the reason why, because it's going to cost me at the end of the day, it's going to cost me attacks.
I'm playing a close combat army designed to pile in and get all these bonuses that I'm going to historically now get less attacks. I'm not a big fan of that. That's why we said in the beginning, boys are dead to us. Like it's going to be 90 Gretchen.
Dead.
90 Gretchen. So we're going to have cheaper battalions. We're going to put, instead of buying boys who walk around like hobos, we're going to be buying storm boys who fly around like badasses.
Mm-hmm. Prepare for all the OG shit to go out of stock on G-Dub's site. Bold prediction.
Yeah. All right, Haspil, take us out.
Make sure to head on over to thelongwar.net, home of the tactics and battle reports, for exclusive content, early access videos, and tons of discount codes to save on all the stuff you buy for this hobby, weekly and monthly. Become a veteran of the Long War today.